Hey guys, welcome to Jade Coloring. I am going to be working in this book, I think, mostly. I may end up changing it up and working in something else as the video progresses, but I'm thinking about just kind of starting a page in this book. It's one of my favorite Japanese coloring books, and I actually thought ahead and did translate the title. I think it's like With My Little Friends in the Forest, a fairy tale journey by Sayori Kabashi, and I'm probably mispronounced the artist's name, but it's a very beautiful book and I love it so much. I have one finished page in here, and it's this one. I know this is a fairy tale, but I can't remember which fairy tale this is based on, but I had a lot of fun coloring this, and I don't remember. I think I might have used mainly Caran d'Ache Pablo's, which I tend to like to use the harder pencils in the Japanese coloring books some of the time. So I am going to be using the Caran d'Ache Pablo's again. I really do need to work on this because it's kind of, you know, related to this page, but so adorable. I really like this page also. They're at like the carnival, but I'm wanting to kind of just work on something a little bit simpler and maybe doing this kind of circus theme page. I just love the little bear and like the, I guess that's a seal, but it's just so cute. And I think that's a little red panda, but I'm gonna have to research kind of how they look because I don't really know what colors to choose. But yeah, I am going to be working on that today in this Let's Color Sunday. And then I also was just going to show y'all what I've been working on throughout the week. And I've started this Sleeping Beauty page in the Christine Caron book, and I'm excited to keep on with this one. I've got most of her skin done, but I still need to kind of do a little more blending and kind of smoothing out parts of her face, like around at the bottom. But I'm planning on kind of doing like a soft green, kind of hazy background, and then I choose purples a lot for my coloring pages, but I think I'm going to go in with purple for the roses, which I don't know if I've done too often. But that's Fairy Fantasy 3. Love this book. Alright, I got some colors picked out, and I thought about doing stripes on the pants. So I'm going to start out with these, like this greenish color and the light blue. It's jade green. I guess that's kind of a light blue-green color. And light green, and just kind of seeing where I want to go from there, I guess. But just kind of starting out with those two and working my way from there. But I guess he's on a little, that'd be like a tricycle. I think I'm going to go like classic red color with the tricycle. To be honest, I didn't realize that they were, it was like kind of stripes for the pants, but I will figure it out. I haven't been doing too much coloring. I've been working on finishing a color along, which is, I've been in the process for a little over a month now trying to finish that up. But I think I'm getting closer to getting that one done, and I'm excited to post that video. Okay, I think that's his little, maybe, other little leg, maybe. It's hard to tell. Or maybe that would be his foot. Like right there. I don't know. I might leave it alone and come back to it. But I wanted really fun, bright colors, and so it's gonna be a little bit different. I think I'm gonna go in with the blue color so it'll match the pants. Kind of like a, you know, matching set. I thought about doing pink, but I might put a little pink in the hat or the bandana. I'm gonna say this is part of the pants. I feel like it would look weird if it was anything else. I could be wrong. But maybe it won't look too weird, just kind of having that. I thought I wish I had like a fine liner black pen, but to kind of make that look like the same as the line art over here. And I'm gonna alternate the colors for the hat. And this is a rose pink that I'm using right now. Such a cute little bear too. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with red for the tricycle. So just kind of like the metal parts here. And then go in with red. This is scarlet. And then just kind of alongside that with vermilion. Do the spokes as well. I'll probably do the tire black. Hopefully that's not too orange. Yeah, that vermilion was a lot more orangey than I anticipated it being. But I think it's working out. This part here. Just kind of playing around with the colors. I really don't have much of a plan with this one. I just wanted to have fun coloring it. Okay, I want to work on, okay, so now I got like the kind of an idea of what I want to do with this bear here. I'm gonna start kind of working on shading, and so I'm gonna start with the clothes here, and I already put down a jade green color, and I want to go make that a little bit darker, so I'm gonna go with turquoise to kind of, you know, make it kind of look a little bit extra. I don't know if I did use the Caran d'Ache Pablos on that last page. I think it, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been the Polychromos. And these are doing okay. It's just kind of a little bit of a getting used to. It's looking a little bit better, I think. I like that. Do have really like kind of pastel-y, like green blue colors in this set, so it's fun to work with those. And I'm going to go back in with jade green and just slightly go over top everything. Yeah, I like that. I think it's looking good. Then going in with jade green. Oh, I'm excited. That's looking really good. I love the jade green in this set. It's like my favorite. I don't know if there's a time I don't use it. I'm going to try and make sense of this little poor part over here. Sorry, I don't know why my voice just gave out all of a sudden. Trying to do too many things at once, I think. Yeah, it's looking better. I might go in with like just a black pencil to just kind of make that look a little sharper. and look a little bit more similar to what's going on this side. But yeah, maybe that was like the foot, because I don't know what this is. Is that the like part of the little bear's tummy? I'm not sure. Stomach, I'm not gonna figure it out though. Okay, now going on to the other stripe, I'm going to be going in with grayish green and then going over that with the light green. And let's see how they work together. Hopefully it don't look too weird. Definitely vibrant, you know, like I was wanting it to be. And it might look like a weird, like, I don't know, almost reminds me of like a candy wrapper, the bunny pants. Yeah, the Pablos aren't my favorite so far with this paper. I might end up switching gears and trying Polychromos. The grains didn't turn out as smooth as I wanted them to, but it gives it a little texture, so, you know, that's okay. It's definitely an interesting combo. I want to work on the jacket also. I'm thinking about going in with a little bit of a darker tone blue just to make that a little bit darker underneath the little vest here. And then going back in with those, the turquoise and the jade green. I'm so glad I didn't decide to do green on the vest because I really don't like how that kind of smoothed out. Just a bit like textury looking. So starting with that turquoise. gonna go in with this kind of up under the arm here. And then going in with the jade green. It's getting pretty cloudy outside today. It was so hot this the beginning of the morning. Then back in with the rose pink. It's looking cute. I like it. It's very different from what I usually grab, you know, for pages, but it's kind of a circus theme page, so I really want to have fun with it. I wonder if I could make it look kind of like a glitter effect on the hat. I don't know. I have these kind of pastel-y, these pastel color pens. They're kind of small, like fine liners. So I don't know if I could make it work, but I can try. Let's kind of experiment a little here. So I want to start with like the darkest of the colors, I guess. Maybe this purple color. And just like dot it kind of along here on the edges. And then go in with this next color, which is like pink. That is bright pink. And then a kind of lighter color. I don't really have color names, but this is like a peachy one. And then I'm gonna have to use, I don't know if my gel pen will work, but maybe this paint pen that's like a Sharpie paint pen. Try using that. I'll probably have to go and touch it up later, but kind of get a working idea. It kind of looks a little sparkly. I like it. It's different. I didn't think about those bleeding through, actually. Okay. And the answer is yes, they do. So, yeah, I just love it when I do things sometimes. I don't think it bled through really badly. Just like you could faintly see it right there. So maybe it won't hurt nothing to keep going. I'm just gonna, I guess, just go with it and see how it turns out. Just gonna go in with a little bit of a lighter hand. Because I actually really like the effect. I might try this with something else, like a bigger, something that's like a little bit bigger. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I love that. That was a lot of fun. I have a hard time getting this lid off of this. And I'm afraid I'm going to end up splattering paint everywhere. Yeah, that looks so cute. I love it. Let's see the damage on the other side. It's not too bad. I can work with that. I won't do any more, but we'll just have that one little extra embellishment for that hat. And then I could probably make it work with pencils if I wanted to add any more, like glitter effect. These are pretty good little pins. I might get a few more because they're fun for like adding little embellishment details like that. I purchased mine at Hobby Lobby, but I think Marvy, I'm not sure. That might be the brand, and they're made in Japan. Extra fine. It's water-based ink markers, so pretty little nifty things. I like how they did with that hat. So I got these. I got like a golden yellow, and then I have just yellow. Kind of work on the rest of the hat. I'm just taking the light yellow over top that. I grabbed several different brownish colors to kind of play around with and see how they work. I think I'm gonna go in with this brownish orange to kind of do like the base of the bear. And then kind of working from there. I got that color laid down. I'm gonna go in with cinnamon. Just start kind of building everything up and deepening the color of the fur. In certain areas. Really, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. But I feel like in these books it can be quite sketchy sometimes, and I really like that with doing the fur on the animals with these well, I got it from Amazon Japan, but these Japanese coloring books. Just something kind of nice and sweet and cutesy about that. Kind of a subtle way to go about coloring the fur. So I like that. Now I'm going to start with the brown ochre. And just kind of, you know, doing the same thing. Building up those brown tones. work it in light layers. I might go back in with the first color I used, which is the brownish orange. Just kind of getting that back in there a touch. Okay, so I'm gonna start going in with the darkest color I have to start kind of making it look a little more like fur and build up some of those kind of shadowy areas. But I'm not going in with like too much pressure. I just want it to kind of darken it up without being too heavy, I guess, with the color. Maybe focus a little on the edges with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the cinnamon. This is taking a little while, I'm sorry, but I'm just kind of taking my time, kind of really working with these colors to get kind of the effect I want. Now, the harder pencils do work great for doing fur and stuff. So I do like using like the Caran d'Ache Pablos for that. It can be really nice to work with. Not that I'm an expert on doing any kind of fur, but I have been playing around with some of the pencils and doing a lot more of it than I used to do. I used to be terrified to work with like fur. But I had so many books like this that I love them so much, so I really wanted to step out of my comfort zone and just kind of start practicing and, you know, having fun with it. Because ultimately that's, you know, what it's meant to be. Coloring is like a relaxing, creative hobby, so that's what I try to make it be. Sometimes, you know, I might have to take a break from something I'm coloring and just kind of go back to it. Okay, so now I want to go in with, I think it's brown ochre. And maybe back in with the brownish orange. I might have to find a lighter brown color to kind of blend it all in together. Okay, I got light ochre, and so just kind of using this to do a little bit of the finishes, like finishing touches. Make some areas not so dark. I like it. I think it turned out good. It took me a minute to get there though. I have just black, and I thought about doing a brown nose, but I'm gonna start kind of just add that in there. And I want to kind of bring the eye out a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in there with the black to kind of do that. But yeah, I just got to do the rest of his body. But I am also gonna start on this like tire here. I'm just taking that black, outlining like the inner edge, I guess. Nothing too exciting, but just think it kind of bring it all together. Just kind of softly going in with that color. Hopefully I was in frame just then, sorry. I'm just gonna take mouse gray and just go over the whole tire here. I think it's looking pretty sweet. I gotta finish the rest of its body, but I'll probably do that off camera. And then I might start on the seal because I think it's really cute. I'm excited to work on that one. I love how this turned out. I think it looks really adorable, and am slightly obsessed with the glitter effect I did on the hat. But yeah, super cute. Excited to continue on. I did, like I said, I was obsessed with that glitter effect, so I'm trying to recreate that for this entire Seals outfit. I just feel like it needed a little more pizzazz, so, and I wanted to keep playing around with doing that, so I'm doing that. And I'm not using the to do the hat I used, you know, these pins, but they bled through a little bit, so I'm just using my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils and a white paint pen to get this effect here. But I'm having a lot of fun with it and I really like it. So it's a new day, you know, I've been working on this off and on, and so I want to kind of pick up with this one and we'll get to coloring. I'm using these blue colors out of the Caran d'Ache Pablos to work on the cape here, and I got them all sharpened up, I think. I have to. But yeah, my darkest color is, I think, ultramarine. So I'm just gonna start with this little section here and just start dotting, or try to. The pencil didn't sharpen very good. It had a little bit of a weird thing going on. Just dotting this around here, you know. Nothing too specific. And I did forget that it's been a minute. I want to go all over this section with the light blue. Just cover it. Might as well go ahead and do this. This will be blue. Yeah, you know, some things went wrong when you go to grab your, this is my sharpener, it has a little lid there. When I went to get it, it was empty. And it was not empty last time I looked at it. And so I went to looking at my coloring cart, and there was a massive pile of shavings that escaped. So when you go get the sharpener and it's empty and it wasn't previously, you know, there's a mess to clean up somewhere. So that's always fun. And I think it got on a color, like a PDF I had sitting out too. I'm sure it'll bounce back though. What's a few hundred pencil shavings all over it gonna do? So I'm just kind of dotting this in. This one doesn't have as much room to work with, so just trying to do my best to create that kind of glittery, shimmery effect. And then the lighter blue colored, kind of more concentrated toward the center. And then just taking this white Sharpie paint pen and adding that over top. And that's all I'm really doing. It's pretty easy. I'm sure other people probably are really good at this, and I am just kind of playing around and just starting out with learning how to do this. So, but important thing is I'm having fun. So so this is a much bigger kind of stripe going on, so I do kind of want to take that like along the edges as well. But yeah, you can use anything that'll make little dots, you know, and get this going, you know, if there's nothing you're worried about on the other side. Alcohol markers, I'm not really sure about that. Maybe if they don't have just like a certain like end, like a paint tip end, maybe more of like a, like the Ohuhu markers, at least the ones I have like a really thin end on them. But I don't know if I could do it with like the Copics, because they have a lot of color comes out of those sometimes. And I think I would just get blobs. But like, especially definitely fine liners. But I'm just kind of improvising with these pencils, so. And then this is just, that was ultramarine, which is my darkest color. This is just blue. I feel like a lot of blues aren't just called blue in pencil sets. But I'm excited to color in my Japanese coloring book. I feel like I've been kind of neglecting them a little bit because I don't know, they're my favorite, some of my favorites, so. This page was just kind of, you know, cuteness overload, so I decided to take a crack at it. And this one is Azurite blue. I know I butcher every single color name, I'm sure. But I'm just gonna go in with this lighter blue towards the center, just working my way around. And it's just kind of like this really kind of messy, dotted up air, like looking thing, so. I'm not even getting really good dots, I feel like, in some of the parts here. I might kind of sprinkle a little bit of those, like fan them out towards the end as well. And let's go back in with a little bit more of the darker color. And maybe a little bit of just light blue. So yeah, just kind of playing around with the colors, going back and forth. And then again, you can use Posca, like I guess we could try it with the Posca. I don't have a very, it's not super, oh, that's a big dot. But yeah, you can get smaller. I'm gonna put it up because I just keep doing really big dots. You can get smaller dots, I'm sure, out of that if, you know, I feel like I need to be closer to focus. I'm just gonna use this one since it has kind of a tinier point to it. And try to go over the center here with the white, and then maybe a few kind of off to the side as well. Just dots. This wasn't my best dot arrangement. Thought I did a dot there, but I'm almost nervous. But hey, it still turned out good. I like it. It's looking pretty sparkly. Okay, So we got the blue done, and now I'm going to show you all the colors I used for the red. The ruby red, scarlet, carmine, and vermilion. Not in that order, but those are all the ones I'm using for the red section. First step, I'm going to take the lightest color, which is the vermilion, and just go over the whole section here. I'm not sure what to do with the collar. Also has like another part back here. I guess I'll just make those the same colors as I've been alternating. And this vermilion's kind of an orangey tone, but I don't know, I feel like it helps bring out the brightness kind of the reds. So the darkest color is carmine, and so that's what I'm gonna start out with, kind of in just the same kind of way I did with the dark blue, taking it all around and just dotting it with small circles all the way around. And then the next color I wanted to use was scarlet. And just kind of picking up where I left off with that carmine. Dang it, I already broke it. Okay. Just kind of filling in all those kind of spaces. And then going in with ruby red. Just a little bit lighter and softer. And bringing it closer in toward the center. And then back in with the vermilion. Just to kind of make that look a little bit shinier in the center with that lighter color. And also can kind of add it to kind of the outer lying areas just to kind of blend it all together. And then I do a little touching up. I want it to be a little bit darker around the fin, I guess. Is that what a seal has? But just darkening it up a little bit. And then taking the paint pen, Sharpie, and white, going over the center. I am concentrating most of them on the center, but still adding a few kind of towards further out. and I think it's looking good. Oh, it's looking a lot better than I thought it would. It's looking extremely shiny and sparkly. But yeah, I have been kind of fascinated with trying out different like textures with the pencils, and so I thought this would be a really fun first step in that. Okay, I have a cape that I think is appropriate for a seal performing in the circus, and I'm not really sure what colors a seal would be, but I'm gonna go with gray because that's what I am imagining. So I just have several gray colors. I just grabbed kind of at random. It's like mouse gray, gray, dark gray. Then I thought to add a little bit of kind of something extra. I got bluish pale to kind of throw into the mix. And I'm probably going to start with the darkest color, which is dark gray. I'm just going to start with the face and just kind of adding this all around the head. But they might kind of, I don't know. I'm just gonna wing it because I don't know. They might have like kind of hair-like skin maybe, but I'm not really sure. I really probably should have done some research, but I'm just gonna jump in, you know, and not worry about it too much. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with gray. I'm kind of just using the side of the pencil, so not really committing too much to one color, but just kind of adding a dash of it in there and see how it turns out. And then mouse gray. And then just kind of going in with the bluish pale color. Seeing how I like that. I do want to go in with, I think, a lighter gray color. Not really sure. It's But I think that's a good start for the seal. might be a little bit of a work in progress, and I might have to kind of do a little bit of research. I guess more than just none. I should have looked up a reference, but I still think it's looking really cute. Kind of going for that kind of textured and sketchy finish of kind of how the bear is, not too realistic. And so that was kind of my idea with starting the seal. I really love how the clerk, sorry, it's getting late. The cloak turned out on him. I think it is super cute, and I apologize if I am going to be using the glitter effect in a lot of my coloring in the future. I'm sure I'll get burnt out on it eventually, but right now, that's pretty fun. I'm gonna have to try and incorporate that in something else for sure. Maybe it's called flippers on a seal. I referred to the front ones as fins earlier, but maybe they're the front flippers. So much I don't know about seals. And then kind of, okay, that was gray. I think I'm gonna go in with mouse gray next. Yep, I think. If I can find it, yeah. And I'm trying to go over a little bit more of the whole like part, because I feel like when I did it on the head it made it a little bit more blue than I was wanting. And also, kind of while I'm thinking of it, if when you get done with all the dots and you feel like there's some that are kind of not placed like you want them, I would just go over them with one of the blues or the reds, like, because you can kind of cover up like a dot, kind of make it less like obvious, you know, and less bright, or kind of, you could probably scrape it off, but I just like kind of going over it with the color because it adds texture, and you know, it's not as bright white, so just something I was kind of working with. So I'm just kind of adding all these gray colors until I kind of like the end result. But yeah, it's been a pretty chill week around here at my house. I had a new faucet put in the kitchen, which is kind of nice because ours was pretty old and kind of run down. Wasn't wanting to spray very good. It's kind of nice. You know, you're kind of getting old when you're excited about a faucet, but it's really awesome to be able to spray stuff off and do the dishes with it. And it makes dishes a lot easier, so it's nice. I've been reading my crochet, well, scratch that, listening to my crochet mysteries It's a pretty nice book series, and I think there's like 16 books, and I'm on book 7 now. And they're really nice. The main character kind of helps out at a bookstore, and they also do like a crochet group like at the bookstore, and they call themselves like the Tarzana hookers, which, you know, with the crochet hook. But it's got a lot of humor in it, and I just really enjoy listening to that while I'm at work. So, and I like trying to guess who the bad person is, who done it. But I don't always guess right. Sometimes I'm a little blindsided. I'm like, oh, you mean it's the character who was mentioned like for 5 seconds in the book? But it kept me guessing, so that was fun. And then I am trying to do like a little bit more actual reading, but sometimes I just don't have enough time to fit that in. And I try to read before bed, but it always makes me very sleepy, so I don't get much done doing that. Take me forever to finish one book. But yeah, I'm pretty boring throughout the week. But I love reading books that are older, you know, not necessarily like recently published, I guess, and buying like used books, because I don't know, I really enjoy it. Because there are so many books to keep up with, but I really want to do a like you know, a bookshelf project where I know you can take some like the already built like IKEA bookshelves and stuff like that, and you can make your own like built-in like a built-in bookshelf. But I don't know, I'm a little on the fence because I definitely need more bookshelf space for all of the books I have, coloring book and, you know, other varieties. But I think I need to paint my house before I go and do any of that. So on top of everything else, I have a lot of house projects to be getting on with, and, you know, just like an endless list really of things to do. That's kind of what happens, especially in an older house. And I know I'm just kind of wanting to make my house kind of have like personality, and just reflect kind of my style, and it'd just be fun. I've been kind of doing thrifting for several years now, and so it would be nice to be able to kind of get that all organized and kind of looking how I envisioned it, I guess, if that makes sense. But I finally decided on some paint colors for my kitchen and my living room, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna do like kind of, I really am drawn to not quite white walls, but I really like white walls almost. And then with like a darker tone of color for just like a big contrast, I guess. for my kind of den area. So I don't know, lots of things to think about, but we'll see how it goes. It's like something that you can almost be afraid to commit to with paint colors, I guess, because it's such a hassle that, like, to be honest, if I don't end up loving it, I'm probably not going to repaint for a while because it was a lot of work. It's a lot of work to paint, so. But yeah, sorry for kind of babbling, but that's just kind of what I've been up to besides coloring. I wish I got more coloring done. It's already the end of the month and I do not have a ton of pages finished, but I have enough, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a video to share with y'all what I finished for the month. But yeah, it's not a lot, but it's something. I'm definitely not the speediest colorer out there. I wish I was. But then again, almost, I guess I kind of don't. I take it back because it is fun and relaxing to me, and I don't want to stress myself out about it. It's easy to kind of lose sight sometimes of why I like to color so much. I can get a little weirdly competitive about trying to finish a coloring page, like with myself for some reason. I don't know why I do that, but sometimes I just need to remind myself to just enjoy the process, and at the end of the day, you know, that's kind of what's important to me with this hobby. Yeah, I think I'm liking this. I'm definitely gonna have to do some touching up, but I think it's looking pretty good. Oh wait, I almost forgot about that side. Go ahead and do this one real quick. Now I don't know what to do with the mat here that he's on. I'm gonna have to find out or figure out a color to use. I'm probably going to refrain from using sparkles or glitter, but it's actually like really challenging sometimes to come up with like a color to use, because you don't want to use too much of the same color, but you don't want it to be kind of too jarring and not match kind of what you've already done. But I'm sure I could figure out something. Hopefully. If anyone has any suggestions on what color to do the mat, that would be awesome. Alright, I think this is probably where I'm going to stop at, but I'm really liking so far what I've got done. So I've made a little progress in this on this page. I am pretty excited about it, and I can't wait to continue on and come up with fun ideas for each of the animals. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye y'all.